This is the 2015 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution Final Edition. It is Mitsu's farewell to its rally-bred all-wheel drive performance machine that wasn't even supposed to be sold outside of the company's home market of Japan when it debuted in 1992. However, demand would eventually see availability spread to Europe in the late 90s, and then to the US beginning with the Evo 8 in 2003. But after 10 generations of this turbocharged sport compact icon, it's going away, and I'm not exactly sure how I feel about that.
I know, I should be bummed out, but the truth is I've never been a huge fan of the Evo 10. I absolutely loved the 9, I almost bought an MR back in the day, but when the 10 got here, it seems like it lost something. So driving the 10 has always been more of a meh experience for me, instead of something that was exciting and memorable like it was in the 9.
The Final Edition is certainly equipped correctly for me to fall in love with it. It looks great with some special styling tweaks like a black roof, hood outlets, center bumper, dark chrome grille surround, Enki wheels, and badging.
Oh, and of course, it has a giant rally-inspired rear wing that doubles as a great lunch table.
The interior also has little touches like red accent stitching and a number plaque denoting which car it is out of the 1,600 Final Editions built for the United States. But best of all, the Final Edition actually gets a little more power, with output jumping from 291 to 303 horsepower, and torque nudging up from 300 to 305 pound-feet from the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. And thankfully, the engine is mated to a manual transmission instead of the not-so-good dual clutch in the MR.
I'm not going to claim that I can feel the power increase of this 2-liter engine, but the power bands is pretty interesting. Down low is a little lull in power, a little turbo lag there, but in the middle range, it's really meaty. And then when you get up high towards redline, it runs out of steam again. But the mid-range power is key, especially on a racetrack, because obviously getting out of corners, mid-range power is what you want. The Final Edition has a 5-speed manual transmission from the GSR instead of the dual clutch transmission that's in the current generation MR. 5-speed is good, shifts okay, shifts are a little bit notchy. I know some people out there have wondered, wow, why isn't a 6-speed transmission in here? The previous generation MR had a 6-speed, but from what I've heard, the 6-speed was a little fragile, and the 5-speed is the beefier unit, and quite honestly, it does just fine out on a track. Where the Evolution does its best work is in the corners. The suspension with the Bilstein shocks, the iBox springs, the Yokohama Advan tires help the car feel really planted, actually. You go into a corner, you turn in, it responds instantly. There's hardly any body roll. Under hard braking, there's very little dive. And as you push the Evolution harder lap after lap, there's two things keeping your butt on the track. There's a limited slip differential and there's an active center differential, which route power to the wheels with the most grip. And the beautiful thing is that they're not intrusive. It's done right.
Most of my time with the Evo 10 before today has been on the street, which after driving this Final Edition for a week is still a bit of a disappointment. The suspension is, as I said, stiff, offering not much give for even small bumps. The Yokohama tires seem to have sidewalls made of cement, which again are great for the track, but not ideal for daily driving. It's also a loud car inside with noticeable tire noise and a lot of engine drone on the expressway that does wear on you during long drives with a transmission that only has 5 gears. I actually wore earplugs for my 180-mile drive out here to Gingerman from Detroit because the engine turning at close to 4,000 RPM for a couple hours straight is enough to drive anyone mad. This is where a 6-cog in the gearbox would be helpful. If you're into interior features, the Evo Final Edition will also disappoint because it's basic. Yes, there's a 6.1-inch touchscreen infotainment system, satellite radio, and Bluetooth, but that's about it in a car that stickers for $38,000. So I can say that I'm finally a fan of the Evo 10 with a caveat. It has to have a manual transmission and preferably be a Final Edition, which I think is a fitting enough send-off with its power bump and small styling changes. The real shame here is that it took the sun setting on the car line to help me finally come to terms with the Evo 10. Now not only will I miss the model, but the Evo 10 itself too, and that certainly does bum me out.
But you know what? After today, I don't care about the Evo's less comfortable on-road behavior, or its cheapy interior that's void of all the latest technology features, because all that stuff isn't what this car is about. It's a throwback performance sedan that's built for rocking it out here on the racetrack, or off the tarmac through gravel when properly set up, and on your favorite stretches of curvy road. And I'll tell you what, it's really freaking good at it.